Hi, I'm Thomas Miller. I want to show you something that I've used for probably the last 10 or 12 years that I think is solely responsible for staying on my highest timeline, on my highest path, staying connected to the source that can see around the corner that we can't see around. This is the same kind of voice that to me said, email Fred Dodson about narrating his audiobooks, and that turned out to be the right thing to do. The voice that tells a lady not to get on flight TWA 800 when she was standing in the boarding line. That kind of voice, and you know we've all had it, that mom's intuition about her kids. It's all the same kind of voice, and it does come from our higher self, our highest source, that which is for our protection and for our good. And I think this makes a huge, huge difference. I learned it when I was skiing in Aspen, and I would ask, if I go out today on this trajectory that I'm on now and ski in an Aspen mountain, for example, will I come back in the same condition that I'm leaving in? I wanted a yes/no answer. And I would do this process that I'm going to show you, and if it said yes, I would go, and I never had a problem. If it said no, I would not go, and I wouldn't argue about it. So the way that I do this is a combination of a couple of techniques. One is muscle testing, so let's talk about that for just a second. I use a muscle testing technique that is rubbing my two fingers together, the pads of your fingers. Typically with muscle testing, the idea in our body is that if you are dealing with a positive or affirmative answer, our body's muscles will tighten up, they'll strengthen, they'll hold tension. And then if it's a no, it will relax and let that go, or if it's a false answer. So doing this, I always calibrate it to say, show me a yes, and I'll rub my fingers together and they're smooth, just like what's happening right now. And then if I want, then I'll say, show me a no, and they'll be tight. They'll just almost stop. Now I did find when I went to California and there's less humidity there, this gets a little bit tricky because you need a little bit of moisture on your hands, but not too much. Like it doesn't work when you get out of the shower, that's for sure. There are a couple of other ways that you can do muscle testing because for this is sensitive and a lot of people don't pick up on it. You can hold these two fingers together and then try to pass your other index, and if you're left or right-handed, I would use the non-dominant hand for this, and then show me a yes, and the idea is that it's tight. Show me a no, and the idea is that the muscles will give way slightly. This is really subtle. You don't want to try to force it through and all of this, just kind of naturally. Is there more tension or does it pass through? Does it go a little bit loose? Another lady that I saw shows it this way. And she said that there's some kind of connection that goes down here. I don't know the physiology of it, but I have had people do the same thing with their little finger, and it seems to work where it doesn't work with the forefinger. So you can play around with that and come up with a method that works the best for you. I've also lately been using the lean. Now, this to me works better standing. I'm sitting on a stool right now, and by the way, this is my friend Jack's living room. Can you imagine? It is so beautiful. And he didn't do anything to make it look like this. This is how his home is. It is absolutely amazing. So thanks, Jack, for the beautiful set behind us for this video. When I'm standing, I will typically say, show me no. And that to me will be kind of a forward lean because it's downward, right? You're pulling your chest down. The energy is flowing right down here. So you want to capture that in a sense of feeling as well. So I'm combining the muscle testing, or I will lean and you feel, if you say, show me no, and you'll kind of start to go forward. Show me yes, kind of start to go backward. That's another way that you can do this. So you're tuning into the energy in your body as you are presenting these questions to Source, to the universe, to God, and getting answers back. I love the saying that prayer is us talking to God and intuition is God talking to us. Well, it uses our body too, and there's ways that we can tune into this. So right now, it's a little bit cautious around transportation. And as I'm recording this, we've had multiple plane crashes over the past week. So you could say, if you were flying on an airplane, you could say, first of all, always ask permission. May I ask about this flight to Chicago that I'm thinking about taking? And say, show me yes. I always calibrate. Show me yes, smooth. Show me no. It's sticky. May I ask about this flight? Yes. Now, I'm not taking a flight, so I'm actually not going to do the process because it would be a false kind of situation. And I really protect this process for myself because it has been so phenomenal to guide and direct my own life. But I would say, if I take this flight to Chicago, will I arrive in the same condition that I am in now as I'm asking this question? And if it said yes, then I would say, okay, will the flight be delayed? Or if there's a connection, will the connection be delayed? Ask yes or no questions around the situation that you've asked permission to ask. Will my luggage arrive okay if you're checking a bag? So you can do all of that, and then what if you get a no? Well, if you get a no, should I rebook the flight? Just ask yes or no questions, almost like you would ask somebody if there was a dialogue going on with another person. Well, then if it's no, then should I book another flight? Should I drive? Should I forget about the trip? You can ask all kinds of different varieties around it. But the basic core question, no, don't go, or yes, go. I used this recently I needed to get a government document, and I don't do well going to government offices and getting what I need, but I asked in advance, if I drive over there, will I walk away with this piece of paper that I need? And the answer said yes. And I was like, okay, I know this thing works really well, but I was skeptical in my doubt, and I shouldn't have been. I walked away with that piece of paper. I had a registration problem with my van. I asked, if I go now, will I be able to get the license plates? And it said yes, and I did. I trust this so much. And that's another layer that I add to it is, okay, if I'm getting yes, I should go ahead and take the trip to Chicago. Then because I've got a history with this, I will say, is this coming from the same quality of answer that told me to email Fred Dodson about narrating his books, or that told me that I would get the license plate? I just want to know that I'm coming from the same place, and then always invite love into the process as well. I only want the highest source that is for my good, who is giving me love, and I am sending love now. And with that, then, go with the process. You're also trying to feel it along here. So it's a combination of what you're feeling inside, how that's showing up in your body. I'm loving the lean right now. It's kind of cool. Doesn't work in a stool. You really need to be standing up. But I hope that helps show you several ways that you can tune into that internal voice that is there to help guide you. And the other thing that I will do, that's a little add-on that I just have some fun with, because the universe is playful, right? We're the ones who are too serious. So I will say, now look, I've got a history of just really mucking it up, and I want to get this right. So please don't mind if I ask again and again and again, about 25 times if I need to, but I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm on the right path. Another little add-on that I've been doing here lately is let's say that I ask a question. Okay, let's say that it's Wednesday and the Chicago flight is on Sunday. Should I take the flight? Yes, all right. Come Saturday, I will say, has anything materially changed about the flight to Chicago? And typically it will say no, because I think when we ask the original question, it factors in things that might have changed. But it's kind of my little way of saying, okay, let me ask one more time, should I go on this flight? Has anything materially changed from the original answer? And typically it's no. So you can use that as well to not re-ask the same question, but to just say, hey, is there anything, because energy shifts, right? It is fluid. So has anything changed with me, with the airplane, with the pilot, with the weather, with mechanical issues? Has anything changed that I should not, regarding the flight? And then whatever it tells you, go with that. So I hope that helps. It's saved my life many, many times. and I wish you the very best. I'll see you on the podcasts.